From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
All right, good evening and welcome to Open Line. Ben Hall is away, Matthew Torres here filling in. We have a great conversation and a topic that I think will remain hotly debated and will always be on priorities for a majority of city leaders here, and that is affordable housing. And we have obviously a panel of experts with us today. Let's kind of go down the line, introduce who yourself and who you're affiliated with.
My name is Floyd Schechter, Matthew, and work with Avi Poster on the steering board of A Voice for the Reduction of Poverty in Nashville.
And I'm Avi Poster. I'm a retired educator by trade. Have had a professional life of working with kids in poverty and have seen the destruction that poverty causes families and children in particular.
And co-chair for The Voice.
I'm also the co-chair and founder of A Voice.
And lastly,
I'm Kay Bowers, and I've been active with A Voice from its earliest days with Avi. I've been working in the affordable housing industry for 20 plus years. I've worked with many families that have faced housing crisis and have dealt with the impact of poverty on their lives and on their kids'
really the impact
health
of this, yeah.
And education. So passion about families with children and how our children's grow up in this community is a priority for me.
Before we delve into the majority of the issues, explain what The Voice, the organization, is all about. What is this mission and how does this kind of is involved within the topic of affordable housing?
So A Voice was founded a couple years ago. I was one of the co-founders along with Marcia Edwards, who's the CEO at the Martha O'Brien Center. And we founded it because there seemed to be a void of voice. There was no one speaking up loudly to the issues facing those with less. We, as an organization, we were an extension of a group that preceded us called the Poverty Council, the name that Howard Gentry, who was then, after leaving vice mayor, he founded it as part of the Chamber of Commerce Foundation. And we created this Poverty Council, and we were sailing. We were creating committees and activist voices and action steps. And for a variety of reasons, it lost its way. And so we created A Voice to pick up where it left off. And our mission is simply to educate people on issues related to poverty and to raise our voice loudly with public officials, policymakers, to adopt practices that ameliorate poverty in our community.
We talked earlier, affordable housing is really this giant umbrella, and under it are these topics and issues that you guys represent and try to fight against. Last month, the City Council approved this bill that would essentially allow apartment developers to build a certain percentage of their new units with affordable housing or for workforce housing. Explain your thoughts and reaction knowing that the City Council made this step. Some people may say not enough of a step, but just a step in order to fight against really bring in more affordable housing.
Well, I mean, the issue of affordable housing is complex. There are cities all over this country that have been addressing issues related to housing robustly and aggressively, and our hope was that our city would do the same. And through people like Floyd and Kay and others in our steering committee, we made several proposals that would have resulted in this aggressive approach towards resolving some of our housing issues. For a variety of reasons, the decisions that were made, while moving the needle somewhat forward, fell short of the robust action we hoped would have been taken. And all we can do is wait and see if what was adopted will make a difference, and if not, we'll be right back to the table advocating for more.
Floyd, was it enough to make a difference?
Well, it will make a difference in some people's lives, there's no question. It's a matter of scope, and when we look at this issue, we have a need in Davidson County for 20,000 units of affordable housing and 20,000 units of workforce housing. The ordinance that was passed, most experts would agree, might result in 300 or 400 units in the face of that need. And so when Avi says it does move the needle, it does move the needle. You know, another analogy is maybe it cracks the door open, but for 40,000 living units to be built in Davidson County, we need much more robust efforts both on the funding side and on the places to build this housing.
Before I ask another question, I know that Mike is now on line 1 with his own question. Mike, can you hear us? If you can, what is your question?
Okay, yes, sir. I would like to ask the panel you have tonight. Through my church, I want to know, do they work with the homeless? What it is, God's laid on my heart to come to Nashville to get a building built for the homeless where they could afford a place to live and everything and help them get jobs and education at this place. And just wondering, I left my number with the lady that put me through with you guys, and just want to know if these people work with the homeless, because I want to eventually come to Nashville through my church. I live here in Waverly, Tennessee, and I want to come to Nashville to make a difference with the homeless and help them get jobs and education, plus have this housing at this big building I want to build, and it's going to be called Life Changing Music City Learning Center. And I'd like to go out maybe in Nashville and get people to sponsor this, and just kind of want to know if I could have these people maybe call me back tomorrow or sometime, and maybe them and me and my pastor could meet and make a difference in Nashville. And I'll hang up, and thanks for your time.
All right, Mike, thank you. You said you'd love to.
We would love to get in touch with callers like this. Organizations we work with, Open Table Nashville, who are out in the street doing work on the streets every day, outreach to homeless individuals, trying to get them moved into shelter and safety. Room in the Inn, other programs, the Rescue Mission downtown, all kinds of great partners that we work with, and connecting these two gentlemen with our partners who are doing this work would be our pleasure. It's our privilege to do so.
All right, okay, let's bring
Matthew,
you.
I just have to add,
Yeah.
that call gives me hope.
Why?
We talk about people moving to Nashville because this is a city of opportunity, and to have someone call to say they want to move here to make a difference in the lives of people that need help, you know, we welcome him and can't wait to talk to him.
Okay, what do you say to people when they say, hey, I want to move to Nashville? Do you warn them about the prices that they're about to face, and then do you give them any options or any solutions to potentially the high rent or high mortgage that they're about to face?
Well, our organization, New Level Community Development Corporation, is an organization that provides housing counseling. We have HUD certification, so we get calls from people from different parts of the country that are moving to Nashville and are trying to find places to live, and they're running into the affordability challenge. Can you help me? Those calls are pretty common coming into our office on a weekly basis. We get anywhere from 120 to 150 calls a month just in our nonprofit alone of people with housing needs. The last 2 weeks I've worked with homeless families. The last one has a son, high school football player. The mother is employed full-time. She works in one of our law enforcement agencies. They've been living in their car since July. So we try to stay on top of who's doing what in the community to help different groups. For example, Metro Public Schools has a HEROES program. There's the Metro Homeless Commission. There's Open Table Nashville. And so we have contacts inside all those agencies that we can reach out to try to bring resources to help people where they are in their lives. But it's interesting. People are moving here from work, and they're excited about moving to Nashville for work, and then they start looking at rent prices, and they go, uh-oh.
I have to go far from Nashville.
Uh-oh, now what? And then they look online, and our name pops up for whatever reason. You know, Google search, I don't know. So we have those conversations on a regular basis.
All right, the conversation will go on. We'll go to a quick break. I know someone's on the other line, so once we get back, we'll have that question plus much more on this topic, affordable housing on Open Line.